Excellent. Right, let us now find my dot on here. There we are. Oops. There we are. Cool. And let's just see who comes in. There we are. So that one will be me, almost certainly. Let's just have a little bit. There we are. We're not quite 6 o'clock, which is fine. There we are. There we are. There we are. There we are. Oh, let's put the glasses out of the way. That's also always good. That can go up there. That's on comments. Good evening, Juliana. Welcome, my darling. Thank you very much. I'm assuming that everyone can hear and see me without any problems. That's always cool. There's a few people coming in, which is always cool. Cool. Oops, don't need that there. Let's just move that over there. Good evening, Elizabeth. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for joining me, my darling. Much appreciated. Let's just do a little bit of fluffing around and move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm not completely convinced. I'm going to use all of this. Let me just get rid of that because that. There we are. That will stop that one whinging and binging. There we are. And then let's just move those all somewhere safe. That might be a challenge as usual because we've got lots of stuff in lots of places. Good evening, Sheila. Thank you very much. Thank you for confirming all of that. Right. Lovely. Oh, some people. We've got some people coming in. So I just have a wooden board. It's approximately A4. It's got a nice beveled edge. Let's just not bother with that. Let's just tweak that so that's better. And then we've got a whole collection of molds from Master of Magic collection. Thank you, Sarah. Good evening, Imra. Hello, Barbara. And some of the new products. So we're just going to have a little start while everyone comes in. I trust that everyone is well. As you can see, some of my products are well loved. I might have made a mistake by saying no. So this is the coarse texture primer, and it has a. Is that the coarse? No, that is the ordinary texture primer, not the coarse one. So let's just add little bits of that. You can see it's sort of well loved. And there we are. We'll add all of this in. So this has a grittiness to it. The other week I used Loft Spackle, which has a much smoother texture to it. And we're just going to add some layers because I can see that this has a grittiness to it. Hello, Sheila. Welcome. The products have arrived in the USA. I've seen several of my American friends who've got them, have put them on their website. So that's always cool. There we are. We'll do that. So that is the regular texture primer, and it has a grittiness in it. There we are. That's what that one is. Hope that's in focus because I haven't got my glasses on, so might not be on screen. Good evening, Connie. Welcome. And this is the coarse one, which if I tip it to the side, you can see that it's definitely more chunky. There we are. So. And we're going to be covering some of this, so we're not going to worry too gravely. There we are. But we do want some texture around because it's not all going to be covered. There we are. Let's just add some of that. spread that out a little bit, mix it in. There we are. That will do for the time being. Let's just come around those edges. Use up the rest of the paste that's on my brush. There we are. There we are. Just add a little bit more into there. Cover that. I could add some proper primer, but I don't particularly want to find another. I've got enough products out this evening as it is. So those are the 2 texture primers, and they will help to build our background texture. Oh yeah. So let's just pop this under here. And so we're using different products to the ones that I used the other day, deliberately, so that you can see some of the different things that are there. So I think that might be just a little bit cool. And we're going to build up areas that are different. Good evening, Sue. Hi, Michael. Good evening, Isabel. Hello, Denise. Thank you. Hello. Is your first name Kakai or Sandawn? I apologise because I don't speak any Hungarian. But Sziasztok, I think is how we say good welcome in Hungarian. I think I might have picked up just a little bit more Hungarian knowledge by now, but I'm afraid not. But now, the DT coordinator speaks native English, which is really helpful. So let's just give this a little bit of a dry. So this will give me an area that's almost like fine sand, and an area that is definitely more grainy in texture. And I need this to dry. It won't take very long. You can naturally let them dry. These are all water-based products, so that makes for easy brush cleanup. I have just, because it was textures, I've used a cheap brush, but actually cleanup is really easy because they're water soluble, water-based products. As long as you don't let them dry, they'll dissolve out in a pot of water, which is also awesome. Yeah. And have we got a lot of products? Yeah, we've got masses of products, because that's what we do. Sarah, who's that you tagging, Julie? Or has Julie just arrived to see? If it is, welcome, 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 welcome. So those are on there. And I want to add some structure, and I want to add some stenciling. So that's so cool. That's all cool, isn't it? Now I know I'm going to have an area of focal area and a frame at the bottom and a layer at the top. So let's just add some random areas of stenciling, and I'm going to use the structure paste for this. It doesn't matter because I'm going to smush some of the edges anyway. It doesn't really matter if, let's get it approximately straight, if it moves a bit, because as I say, I'm deliberately going to be smushing it about a bit. So there we are. Let's just move that over there, and let's just pop that over there. Add a little bit more of the structure paste. So this is like almost like a concrete. It's rather lovely. That smushed a little bit more than I wanted, but hey ho, that's also okay. So let's just add a little bit more of that stenciling through there. So that's cool. And then let me wrap that stencil in a baby white or two, so that I don't ruin it, because it's got lots of lovely detail on it, and that comes from Master of Magic collection. So it's rather lovely, and they don't sit on your wet stencil. Oh, let's just pop that safely over on those wet. That will keep it fine. And then let's just add in some more more paste around the place, and I'm not mithered about whether I smush some of my stencil thing by doing this, and in fact that's the look that I want. So yeah, you can, I think when I do that you can hear that I've got the grittiness. I don't need all of that over there. So let's just smush that into there, smush that there. I don't need a thick layer. There we are. And we can add some colour into that. And let's just turn that round. And I'm sort of wanting, you can feel I've got a grittiness there. There we are. So it's definitely different to the classic Pentart structure paste. So don't think it's less grainy than the classic structure paste. There we are. Let's just pop that into there. So that will hopefully just give us some extra interest in our piece. And of course it is going to get coloured. I don't want it particularly even, so that can go there. Let's just pick up that. Oh, yummy, yummy. Right, so there we are. Right, so let's lid that, pop that in. So we've now got some textured interest and some structured interest about stone effect, but not made for myself. You can, of course, mix the decor glue with the brocante paper to get that. I'm just going to pop that on the floor, move those over there, stick that there, and pop the fan on, because that can help dry that. And then we've got the inevitable 3 tons of mould. That's a little. So we want, let me just pick up the colours that I require, because we've got lots of them on the floor. Let's start with these. Okay. So these come from, that comes from a soft mould, and these come from one of the deeper moulds. So we've got desert sand and dark beige. And so let's go with desert sand. So these are the new watercolours, and I'm going to use them as a paint. You know, nothing more complicated than that. Of course, I can thin them down. They are very, very pigment dense. They colour beautifully, and these resin pieces have actually just been primed with regular Pentart gesso, thick gesso paste. There we are. So let's just, while that background is doing, so there we are. Because whilst the intention of these primarily is for decorative, as in wall painting and decorative effects, the products are such good quality that actually you can use them for lots of other things, aka crafting. But we're going to use them, take advantage of some of their properties, and we will create a wall effect, because that seems like a logical thing to do. And so you can see just how beautifully these go on. I'm thinking, cast stone or carved stone for these pieces is where I'm going. Good evening, Robin. Thank you very much for sharing the post here art. I saw your make with the brocante style paste. The earlier on, if people haven't found Robin's song, which is Robin's American business page, then it's absolutely worth finding and watching her regular lives because she will take you through all sorts of different things. She's very, very skilled. So have a wee look and see what she's up to. I know she was lucky enough to attend a US retailer event back in the autumn, and that she's had a chance to play with these products before launch at a workshop there, which is cool. So these, yeah, as you'd expect for a product that is designed to cover walls, these really cover very, very well. Very, very well. But I've no intention of decorating a wall with them. But that's fine, because just because it says it's one thing on the tin really doesn't mean that that's what you have to do with it, does it? Of course not. Of course not. There we are. So mixed media is definitely more my thing. I have got some brocante pieces, but as I've always been asked to stick to products otherwise, that paper products that come from Pentard, from Stamperia, rather than other paper brands. Some of the techniques don't work, so are not necessarily right for some of the current Stamperia rice papers. But that might change with time, but the stencils definitely are. So we're just going to mix and match it up, but you can watch my page and I might well do a more brocante thing. Thank you, Laurie, for joining us, and you are absolutely right. It's good to be able to uplift each other up instead of knocking each other down. Gain nothing from doing that apart from a lot of stress for yourself. There we are. So let's just give these, and then it wouldn't be alive for me if we didn't have lots of molds to decorate. But there is a sort of plan in where I'm going. You'd be delighted to know. There we are. There we are. Lots of detail in these molds, which we will bring out. We have a plan. Because it's good to have a plan, isn't it? You have to have a plan when you're doing a live. Otherwise, you just never know quite where it's going to go. There we are. Need a bit more to get into all of the details in there. And then we will lid that beautiful desert sand, because that's what. And good evening, Crafty Jacks. Hello, Anya. Welcome, my darling. And then we can, before we do that, we'll just cover the bits that I can see I haven't covered. Not that it will matter long term. There we are. Pop that into there. Let's just cover that lot. Make sure we've got that all covered. Yeah, that will do. That will do. Right. Cool. Right. Okay. There is a logic to my brain. It's never quite guaranteed to be logical, is it? But actually, there is a logic to my brain. So let me pick up the next set of colours that I want, which is a bit of a mix. So we're going to mix it up because that's what I fancy doing. And there is a blue in the paper collection. So that wasn't maybe what we wanted to do. Squish that into there. Let's just take a bit of that blue, because that's really quite dark, and a bit of this. Not the width. So I'm using colours and taking inspiration from the paper collection, but I'm not sticking completely true to it. There we are. Because why would you? Why would you? There we are. And then we can pop that one over the way. There we are. There we are. Good. Right, let's clean that hand. And then, oh, she says, knocking something else flying from behind her. There we are. There we are. There we are. Right. Eeny, meeny, miny. So we're just going to mix these up a little bit. Get a custom colour that I like. Yeah, that will do. Might need a bit more of that ocean blue, but that's okay. So there we are. Endeavour not to have too many mucky hands this evening. Huh, that'll be famous last words, won't it? Me without mucky hands when I'm painting. Yeah. Not that I'm delusional about these things, you have to understand. And just because it says they're wall paints doesn't mean I'm going to treat them any differently to my normal acrylics. But the plus side of them being wall paints is if you do put them on your wall, then once they're fully cured and dry right through, you have a washable surface, which is always good, isn't it? There we are. So we're just going to treat these as paints, because that's what they are essentially, isn't it? Paint. There we are. So I trust that everyone is well. It's been a glorious day, and in fact I wasn't sure that I needed my lights on, but I'm really glad that I did put them on, because it is now quite dark outside. The sun has definitely set. Which is okay. So what is everyone up to? And have people seen sneaky peeks from Stamperia of the Woodland Grove collection? I think some of that might work quite well with the Masters of Magic collection. Depends a little bit on what they've put together mould-wise, but I have a feeling it might well. It will definitely work with some of the other products that from previous collections. And so it's good, isn't it, to be able to mix and match and use your products. There we are. So these colours are glorious. They are really they're clean colours is what I would say, if that makes any sense. They don't have a grey undertone to them. Even the grey is a clean grey. It's not a grungy grey. You'll see what I mean by that once the background is dry, because the reason I'm painting these now is the background is drying nicely, and then we can pick these up. Yeah, let's do this one in the blue. So this is from the floral mould that comes with the Masters of Magic collection. There we are. Who's decided to message? Well, they'll just have to wait. Can't do two things at once. That's definitely someone else messaging. But hey ho. There we are. There we are. There we are. Well, I mean, I could put gloves on. I know. Amelia puts gloves on one hand. And I suppose I should be used to working with gloves, having spent my life as a surgeon. But sometimes it's good not to have gloves on. There we are. Yeah, that might work for all of the blues. So we've got too much out and we've mixed them together, so we can't not contaminate them. Right, let's just wiggle that brush in there and let's pick up some alternative colours. There we are. Because we don't want everything blue and beige. Good evening, Elizabeth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, now then, what do I want? We need some green and we need a red. Yeah, we need a green and a red. So conveniently, we have greens and reds. Right. So some of these I haven't opened before already, so that will be joyful. It's always good, isn't it? That's because there are so many new paints in the collection here. Let's just add, because we've got some leaves. That's for going red. Those are going to have reds. That's a leaf. Right, excellent. So let's just add a little bit of that green there, which is quite bright, but not yellow enough for me. And there is a bright yellowy green, but this one is glorious. Look at this. Look at that. Colour of yumminess. So let's just pick some of that onto there. And then let's lid that so we don't have a mess, because why wouldn't we? And I can see some areas of, mind you, by the time I've added the distressing, it probably won't matter. There we are. Okay. So let's swap to a smaller brush, not one that is uber silly sized, and then let's just mix these together. Will I have too much? Yeah, of course I'll have too much. There we are. Of course we'll have too much. But hey ho. There we are. That is that. Pick up the leaves that are tucked into this mould, just as a designed to confuse and confuscate, isn't it? There we are. You can imagine, like any other paint colour, you can colour blend for yourself to get the colours that you want for your project. Don't necessarily want that. There we are. Big glob of paint there, but we will be doing a little bit of distressing and antiquing, so that's okay. And let's just add that into there, because that's down in the depths. And then we can tidy it up afterwards. You see, paint every which way, but don't worry, that will not be staying that way. Hello from Greece. Good evening, Isabella. Thank you very much for joining us. There we are. Let's just get rid of some of that yuck off our fingers. There we are. And then let's just add some of these into here. This is a beautiful collection of molds and florals that I think can be used time and time again. There we are. And we know that there are lots of suppliers in the UK for the Stamperia products. And watch this space. I might have some more. There may well be some exciting information, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to technically divulge at the moment, so I won't spoil it. But there is some exciting news happening, or about to happen. It's all in progress in terms of Pentart supplies in the UK. I know full well that they have definitely arrived in the US of these new products. There we are. Let's just add this into here. There we are. I don't know who else is. I trust that everyone else is otherwise well. For those of you who have picked up from my social media posts, my husband has been pretty poorly. Thankfully, he is now back home, but definitely not completely right. But hey ho, such is life as we get older. You just have to deal with it, don't you? You just have to deal with it. Right, and then we'll clean the green off our fingers, because otherwise we'll have an icky, sticky, ucky mess as we transfer stuff out. This is Pentart's, darling. I am on Pentart's page tonight, darling. Right, let's just do that. Let's get rid of that. So are you watching on my page, my darling? Okay. Yeah, we're going to end up with a little bit of paint being thrown away, but hey ho, hey ho. But such is life. Right, let us just pick up. This is another, oh my heavens, yumminess colour. I know I've had this open. So this is Bordeaux. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colour. Let's just fish a little bit of that out onto there. There we are. That can go in there. We'll pop that lid back onto there. You see, we're collecting a goodly collection of stuff. Oh, don't want to do that in case I need to photograph those pots. Okay. I'm not sure, my darling. They're still introducing the new products. And so I think that they've still got a little way to go in terms of the new products and things that they want to focus on in terms of wool. So I have no idea, but I will be live on Friday, crafting together with all brands, and I am intending using Master of Magic for that. And then I'm live on my own page on Sunday with the Brocant collection to finish the little book that I started last weekend. And bit by bit, we are transferring all of the lives that I have done. In fact, most of my lives now, bar the most recent ones, can now be found on YouTube. So I wouldn't mind if people would have a little look at YouTube and find my channel. It's at Gill Humphrey 2212 is the handle. I'll pop a link up when I next post a picture of a make, but there we are. So this is the Bordeaux. It's a very glorious colour, and it's a bit pinker than I think a true Bordeaux is. but it is beautiful. I like it a lot. And I'm not a very pink person, as you know. It's not something you see me playing with very often, but there we are. There we are. Good evening, Judith. So we have some little additional mushrooms to add. We'll add these in just whilst everything else is setting and drying. These are, as I say, these are beautiful paints to use. Beautiful, beautiful paints to use. Missed that bit. Why not? Why not? Why not? Look at the size of that. They really don't waste any of the space. If they can fit something into a space on a mould, they are absolutely doing it. Let me just give these a little bit of a blast dry, because if I don't, I'm going to move the red into the green, and red and green together will make a yucky brown, which is not quite the colour that I'm intending on going for at this point in time. I could add another layer of colour onto those quite happily if I wanted to, but actually I'm okay with it as it is. Because we're going to be adding some extra things in anyway. So before I add some more of that pinky red, I'm just going to paint some of those in. And this colour is called light beige. And I think, well, do I agree? Well, you could make it lighter by adding some white, but actually I really quite like the tone of it. So let's just add in, let's pop that over there. We won't need masses of it. Onto here. We'll need to, I'm going to end up mixing some of that green in, but that's okay. It's going on to the mushrooms. It's not going to matter hugely if we have some of that green mixed into there. There we are. Let's just paint some of this. Small brush, steady hand, take your time. Not conducive to lives, but hey ho, such is life. And then we can have some tidying up if we need to, which we will do. Okay, I can see where I've missed some of the red, but that's okay. We'll need a bit more of that light beige into there. We're going to muddy these up a little bit anyway and add in some layers of texture. Let me just pick some of that up and pick up that edge of that. There we are. That all works. Oh, she says, wow. There we are. Will these last me for ages? Yeah, they probably will, but you know, like the colours are just, I don't know, they just are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I know I'm swapping in between them at the moment, but that's, you know, because I set myself a challenge, don't I, by picking the little diddy bits out of a mould. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? There we are. Okay. I can see that I've got some bits that I need to add a little bit into there. Let's just add yeah. And then we can pop this into here. So it's just a question of just taking your time, deciding what colour you want where, and then just go for it. It's not, I say they are just, the paints just are lovely to work with, I have to say. They cover nicely. Right, let's go back to that red, and then we might think about adding some extra layers in to some of these colours. Here we are. So, is everyone well? Have we got some good plans for the next few days? Or are we busy? There we are. Hi, Anna. Welcome, my darling. So we are just going to use these and put them together. As I say, don't let the name watercolour put you off thinking about it. They will work as an ordinary paint. If they'll go on your wall and survive on your wall, they're definitely going to survive on your art projects. They are very good quality paints. Yeah. Okay. And we might just have to give these a quick blast, because I'm going to add some varnish to them. And we'll be adding some distressing to them, so that's cool. Because the wall colours come with a whole collection of antique, so matte coloured lasur paints, lasurs for distressing or adding, and they are again waterproof once dry. But and there's also a fabulous range of metallics that go with that as well. So I do have some wax out, but we might just add enough with some dry brushing of some of the metallic lasers. We'll see. We are. We're again there. Can I get out the white, this white pearl? Possibly not. Might have to go retrieve another lasso in a minute. I have a feeling that I didn't get out the one that I know I need. There we are. Okay, so let's just pop that over there. I'm going to add, that can go onto there. I'm just going to add where I've missed in the words onto there. There we are. But you generally one a coat and done. So, oh, we've got this one to do as well. We've got that white. Good. Right. Well, let's just do that while we're going. We have a white wall paint, oh, which we've had out and open, and there we are. That's the white. We don't need very much of that, so let's just take that white. Don't pop it onto there. Let's just add that in. Good evening, Miriam. Welcome, my darling. And we have our wish. We have a beautiful dark blue lasso for antiquing with, and we also have a beautiful deep dark Bordeaux for antiquing with. There we are. We'll add the yellow in with an alternative way towards the end. Right. They are amazing. Oh dear. She says she knew we should forget something, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? There we are. Let's just take that. Put that over there. Put that over there. And the Joker. We're not going to paint all the details into him, but we do have a plan to bring out some more of him. There we are. Cool. Right, before we put a heat gun near that, let's just put. So that is the combination of ocean blue and dark patina is the blues that I've used. Right. Let's just get these to a point where I can safely varnish them. Have I missed bits? Yeah, I have. So sorry. Just grab. You don't want the bag on there. That wasn't intelligent, was it? Probably the bits I could see that I've missed. Right, excellent. Let's just give these a good wash dry. And then I will grab the varnish, which I definitely got out, which is on the floor next to me. That's cool. Yeah. I am intending using the really dark and the really dark red for these as well. And so what happens when you miss bits? Of course it's going to be a bit that's going to bother me, isn't it? It's never going to be a bit that won't bother me. Oh dear, sorry if that's made anyone go seasick. Wasn't quite the intention. And I appreciate there's quite a lot of moulds here, but you know, you can't do something half-heartedly, can you? And it has allowed me to showcase lots of the different colours. So this is the Decor Decor Varnish in Matte. Could have chosen a glossy, I guess, but I just want to seal this paint in. They are waterproof once they're done, so but on a live you don't necessarily have time to let it all properly cure. There we are. So that's just, it won't take very long to add that into there. That brush is clearly filthy. Hey ho, it'll all add to the colour. And it's good practice to seal your pieces, but you don't need to seal every layer. I see people sealing paint when actually acrylic paints are pretty stable once they are dry. It's just I know I'm going to be rubbing these back. Don't want all of that those globs of that in there. So there we are. We'll definitely have to find the pearl white Lesueur in a minute. I know exactly where it is. In a big pile. There we are. But by having lots of different shapes and intending to use them slightly differently, it's going to allow me to showcase lots of the different colours, which I just think might be quite a helpful thing to do. It's not going to take us forever to get around this lot. You can see I'm paying these a lot of care and attention. I mean, obviously, if I wasn't doing this live, I might go a little bit slower, but I'll take some of that excess off out of there because it's just going to take forever to dry and it's big lumps. But there we are. And I'm choosing matte deliberately because stones are not shiny. Well, unpolished stones are not shiny. Right. Let's do the blues. Actually, let's do the beiges while we're at it. These little playing cards. Get rid of the excess. There we are. Pop that over there. Right. We might finish these. I'm still on a mission to use stuff up. There we are. And then as fast as I use stuff up, of course, more arrives through the door. You know, that's just life, isn't it? When you're a craftaholic. It doesn't take very much for me to be. Good evening, Julie. I trust that you're well, my darling. There we are. Could I have done some of these ahead of time? Defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I'll be having a cold tea tonight, I think, looking at what's going on. Right. There we are. It all adds to the fun of life. There we are. Don't clog up all of the detail. We are getting there. We've got too many pieces on the table, but hey ho. We'll have to give these a bit of a blast before I can, and a bit of a clean up. I want to move back to the board in a minute, the base that I did. There we are. Now we have sticky hands because varnish is sticky, isn't it? Yeah. There we are. Right. Two more bits to. Yeah, absolutely. We're all guilty of it, Sarah. We're all very guilty of wanting more and having to have the newest. Yeah. Even though we've almost certainly got something that will do in our collection, that's not going to stop us from buying the next lot. It's definitely an addiction. There is no other way of saying. There is no way around other than that, to say, and accepting that it is an addiction. So there we are. Let's just spread that out. Don't really want thick globs of it because that will just take forever to dry. There we are. X. Oh, one more to do. Famously. Oh, very good. Wow. There we are. It's just. I need to get rid of some of that because it's too thick and I've just picked up too much onto there. So it's going to fill in all the gaps where I want the wording to be, because there are words on this piece of that I'm dabbing away at the moment. Right. Now then, lid. Pop that over there. Pop that over there. Stick that there. Sacrilege coming up. Sorry, ladies, but because I've colour mixed, I need to get rid. Otherwise, we're going to have a pickle. And I don't really require a pickle. Oh, there we are. Let's get a scraper, and I shall hope not to make it so it's too nasty on people's ears. There we are. Okay, that will not. That's at least the worst of that picked up. Well, I'm definitely described as being a good enabler, Sarah. I can't deny the fact that I encourage people to buy. I cannot. I have to accept that that's what I do. Right. Eeny, meeny, miny. That. Let's shuffle that lot over there. Over there. Tuck all of these pieces. Out of harm's way. They just need to dry. Whilst that's doing that, let me go and get the white, the pearl, because we definitely will want that. We definitely will want that. We've now got so much stuff on the table, we don't know what to do with. There we are. We'll have that. We'll have that. We'll have that. We want that one, and we want some of that one. Right. Eeny meeny. And let's just see if this is now dry. Not quite. Not quite. Let's just give this. So this is our our texture primer, coarse and regular, with our structure plaster through stencil, and then added to give a shabby wall effect. Some of this is still a little bit too wet for my liking. So that's okay. Let's just give these all a little bit of a blast whilst the going is good. Move this lot all over here. We get this lot dry. Right, we will need those back out, but that's okay. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right, we have moss grey. We do have another grey. We know we've had another grey. It's a reserve. Okay. So this is a moss grey, and I guess it has got maybe a purpley undertone into it. And this is a way that I don't think you'll have ever seen me painting. Let me just grab that. And so we're going to give our sponge and our work, having got it dry, a good spritz, and then we're just going to pop a little bit of that paint onto there and work it in. Now you understand this is what you do when you're doing a wall, or you understand. But there we are. And because it's quite a quick method of doing it, isn't it? Let's get rid of the hair because we don't necessarily want that. Okay. Now, have I got a microfiber cloth in here? Have I yet? Because I put it to wash, because that's what you do. So let's just blot some of that off. There we are. Let's just give that a little bit of a blast to dry. Don't want it fully dry, that's fine. And then let's just take this, which is the wool lesser. So it's a darker grey. Yeah. And let's just pop some of that onto our sponge. So this is a lesser. Oh, she says, throwing half a pot across the floor. There we are. Yeah, I think quite like that. Let's just pop that there. Right, just bear with. Tell you what, don't bear with. I'll pick it up after the live because there's a whole ton of that now on the floor and on lots of other things that definitely now need cleaning. Let me just. So there we are. So we've painted with a soft brush, and then we swiped and we've dabbed over with the sponge as well. So it's an easy method of painting, and I've now got lots of layers of texture in that piece. I need to get these clean because I'll be asked to photograph something and then they'll be filthy and I won't be able to. Right, okie dokie. So that can now go back on the floor. So really simple method of adding texture and colour to your piece. Right. Let's get these dry because I can see great big globs of varnish on those still. There we are. And then we can. It's a good effect. Why doesn't that surprise me, Sarah? Why does that not surprise me? Right. There is no way I just need to do this slowly and get these dry, ladies. It's all there is to it. Just needs to happen. Some of them are better than others. So that's us. So we have see, I told you I'd got too much stuff, didn't I? There we are. And right. Right, let's get some of these out of the way. So, umber. Is this the pot that's open? Because I've actually got two of these. So this is a nice brown, and we'll add just a little bit of extra detailing into back into some of these pieces. There we are. Let's just grab those. So these are antique lasers. There we are. And whenever I'm antiquing anything, I do like to make sure I have got into every nook and cranny. Once these are dry, they are permanent. So just be aware and cognizant of that fact. So don't whack everything on if you're then wanting to lift colour off. So let's just take, there we are. So we've gone from that to this. And this is why, if you're like me, you need everything in the sun. But there's lots of different colours of lasers in the vintage and in the darker cut, and in the metallics. So plenty to choose from. And colours that are otherwise missing elsewhere. And these are different shades. So I'm just going to wipe that off the surface, wipe off the excess, pop that onto there. I'll pop that there for the moment. Look at the state of my hands. It's really not good. Really not good. Not good, not good, not good. So I want the wall edges to be a bit darker. But I'm actually going to blast those. So that's almost like dry brushing that over there, over that window. I have more on there. So let's just tackle the same with these. course, having done that, we haven't got enough because that would just be too easy, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Of course it would. Of course it would. All right. There we are. They're going to need to have a blast dry before I add the white. There we are. Okay. Aha. There's the pearl. Right. Let's clean that off. There we are. So there's that. Pop that over there. Pop that over there. So this is the steel blue, and it's a really, really nice dark blue. I know I've had it open. Never mind. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful colour. Yeah. And these are all matte colours. There we are. Just wipe that back a little bit. We're just adding extra, changing the tone slightly. There we are. Okay, let's pop that onto there. And the Bordeaux, I have to say, I don't think is very Bordeaux in the wool-coloured lasers. Let's just pop that over there, pop that over there, and pop that over there. Let's take that. We've got a plan for them and a different plan for those. So this is the wool colour lasur in Bordeaux, and you'll understand what I mean by it. I don't think it is. I think it's more of a red brown. I think earth brown, I think, is the, if I'm honest with you. There we are. So let's just can add that into here. As I say, I think it is more of an earthy colour anyway, so it won't matter too hugely. There we are. And I'm mixing up the grey that I've got on there already, but that's okay. There we are. It's all adding a degree of extra interest to the pieces. Might treat myself to a clean version of that and a clean pair of hands, because that's also not unhelpful, is it? There we are. Wow. Roxy's City today, haven't we? There we are. So they're not quite so clean. I think there is a green reserve, but I'm not going to use green reserve. I'm going to actually just use this reddy brown for the others. There we are. Okay. Oh, she says, because there is a reason why I've got all of this lot out. Of course there is. There we are. You see, when it's on that white, it definitely does look more red, doesn't it? There we are. Right, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. So this is just a vintage photo, distress oxide, archival ink even. So that's putting that back onto there. I know hearts are red, but I've not got my red ink pad out. So there we are. And we'll dry brush a bit of red onto that later on if we want to. I can, there we are. Eeny, meeny, miny. Right, let us move this little lot all out of the way. That, and that needs to have a metallic effect, as does that, and that. Excellent. Hey. So those reserves were all flat colours. You can add dry brushing if you want to later on. Let's add some extra information into these. So this is metallic pearl white, which is a beautiful shimmery colour, because windows are shimmery, aren't they? Yeah. We'll need a clean cloth, I think, cleanish. There we are, we'll pick up with it. So there we are, we can pop that off the top. And now we've got shiny windows. This is why you need everything. Not that church windows aren't, haven't got black lead, but hey ho. There we are. There we are. That can settle even into there. Dun, 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 dun. There we are. So that is antique copper. We've nearly got everything together. Honestly, I promise you. So that is another metallic azure, and I'm going to dry brush this now onto here. Instead of using a wax. There we are. The world is full of magic. See how little I'm using, but it really is just adding the extra layers, the extra interest into all of these pieces. There we are. Okay, so that can go into there. Right, with the 25,000 pots of stuff I've now got all the way around me, let's just pick up this lot, move it all out of the way, because I'm not completely convinced I'm going to use some of these pieces, because I set it up originally without, and it's not fully dry. So there we are. So there is our board. So we can start at the top, because I know exactly where I'm going with the top piece of that. Let's have a little thing. So let's just pop that over there. We can line that up. Did I have it that way? Or did I have it that way? I think I had it that way. Okay, so let's just pop some gel medium onto there. I like it when molds are sided. So that's approximately even. There we are. Okay. And that has essentially centralized that for me. And I can pop that into there, because that now works. Now then, let's just move this up. And this piece is going to sit semi-orphaned, which is unusual for me, but that's how I wanted it. I wanted it to be like a wall with a window in it. Okay, cool. That can go there. because it will irritate me. Just under an inch. Just under an inch. There we are. Okay. Now, we now have some questions. We have, actually, I think I'm going to add some of the smaller pieces. I might not add the papers at all. I originally wasn't going to add any papers at all. So let's just pop this as if it's the entrance. Yeah. That's the way I wanted it to go. You see, like it when a plan comes together. There we are. Let's get rid of that excess because that will show. There we are. Okay, so eeny, meeny. We're going to pop that one there. We're going to pop that one there. We're going to pop that one onto there. There we are. Because that has to be, I'm sorry, that has to be upright. It doesn't work for me if it's not upright. If that makes sense. Yeah? Because mushrooms don't grow in pieces. There we are. Let's just pop that onto there for the moment. That can go into there. Might go up a little bit. I'm going to pop that onto there. Like so. Like so. Or do I want that one? I think he can go in there. Okay, our little rabbit from the paper cutouts. And we're going to pop that one into there. See, there is a logic to my brain, but we're not going to try adding any. There we are. I'm going to add an extra little one of those. So now we're going to link him and him. Anyone would think I'd planned this. Now the question is, do I want her or, let me just move that out of the way. Okay, do we want Lady Vagabond in there or do we want Sir Vagabond in there? Or shall we have the mouse tucked underneath? Options. Ladies, letters on a postcard, please. That one's going to go into there. That's going to come down there. That's going to sit there. Okay. The fox, Lady Vagabond, or Sir Vagabond. Fox Isabel? Anyone ask any options? Anyone ask for any more? Sir Vagabond. You see if I... think we're going to we'll pop that one. This comes from the 8x8 paper pad. We might manage to do both of them. Don't know that Sir Vagabond will work. The Lady Vagabond might though. There we are. Let's just tuck that into that, because he's now sitting there. I've moved my box. Where have I moved my box? Right. Stuck those into there. Stuck you down there. There we are. And let's just give her a little bit of a shape. I think we're going to put Lady Vagabond in. Sitting on the flowers. Okay. Yep, that one can go underneath there. That one can go in there. There was another. There it is. Okay. So that can go in there. That one. Can balance into there. Just because we've got it doesn't mean we have to use it, of course. Okay, that can go underneath there. Half on, half off. And let's just tuck them underneath there. And our last piece. There we are. Our last piece can go, well, we will get it in one way or the other. It is going to go in, come poke out from behind her. There we are. Excellent. Deborah, there is never any need to apologise. Never any need to apologise. The lives for Pentart simultaneously stream to YouTube. So even if they disappear off Pentart's page, because I can't download them from Pentart's page, well, I haven't worked out how to download them from Pentart's page. They're there to be looked at any time. So, ladies, let's just straighten them. Does that look? There we are. So we have the world is full of magic with our beautiful windows. I have a thing for windows and doors. We've got our structure paste background for the bottom with the paint and Lasur to colour it. We've got a little, almost as if we've got an entrance into the world of the magician's house, and that is my make for tonight. So I hope that has been useful and you've enjoyed it. I will be back live on my own page, on Crafting Together with All Brands page rather, on Friday with another but very different Master of Magic make, and I will be on my own page on Sunday. So take care, ladies, look after yourselves, and remember, in a world where we can be doing nothing else, please be kind and try and enjoy everything that you do. Bye bye for now.